What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. In this video, I'll give you 8 tips on how to achieve a 20% reply rate. And a lot of you will probably struggle right now to get a lot of replies. And that really comes down to your targeting and probably your messaging. So maybe there's something wrong with your offer to the niche that you're reaching out to, or something in the messaging that they don't resonate with, or it's a completely wrong lead list that you got. So that's a lot of the metrics that you can look into. It's always changed up the offer, the copy. Maybe you don't have a guarantee if you're running with guarantees at all, but you want to have some metrics in that will hook the prospect, get them interested, and know that there is something that they're struggling with that you're reaching out with in terms of your solution. And this is probably you right now. I will just remove myself here. But you're probably waiting for your prospects to reply. Either you get ignored or you're on your follow-up 12 and you're about to lose it because they don't respond to you. So this is actually a meme that I like to use in my follow-ups just to do some pattern interrupts to get the prospect interested, because they probably just see a bunch of emails saying, just wanted to get back to you. Did you see my last email? Did you have time to review the things that I sent over? Something similar to that. So I just like to include memes in my follow-ups. And yeah, this is probably you at the moment. And what we want to get to is this. So what I mean by this meme is that this is you, this is your clients. So your clients are chasing you and really want to know what you're offering and hop on a call with you and make sure that they know that you can solve their problem. That's the biggest one in terms of cold emailing day one, to know that you can solve their problem. And if they know that, they are 100% sure that they want to hop on a meeting with you. And then it just comes down to you selling your service. And then they are like 80% hooked on what you're offering. It just come down to how you present it, because you might think, okay, yeah, it comes down to what the price is, but really nothing is too high of a price if they can see the solution and they know that it is the right fit for them and know they can fix their problem. Why don't you want to invest, let's just say 5K or 10K or 20K or whatever it is? If it can fix their problems and maybe generate them 100K in revenue, why just invest 10K? That doesn't make sense. So pricing is a big objection for a lot of people, but you just need to see it as pricing is just another objection that they haven't seen the value in the way that you're offering your solution. So you need to frame it in a way that they understand what you're offering. They want to get your solution no matter the cost. And that's the way to go about it. So how do we go about that? We need to personalize every message. And that includes the prospect's name, role, and company in your message. While some critics may dismiss personalization, it can make a significant difference when you're reaching out to prospects. And no, I'm not saying that you need to do every sentence with, hey, first name, saw that you're the CEO of company name, and then all prospects just respond to you and hook on your service, which is not the case. But you want to, of course, keep their name in. Sometimes I just like to do, hey, and then something opening lining. But of course, you want to mention their name, but you can do either way. It just comes down to you making it relevant, because in my perspective, when you're including, say, just hey name or hey their name or hey first name, whatever, they have seen that thousands of times. So you probably just want to go with hey or hi and then do some personalization afterwards. And that could be something that you've done with Clay. It could be because you scraped them from LinkedIn and they were interested in, I've used example books a lot of time. Just that's just an easy one. It could also be if you're selling automotive parts or a trip to Greece. Let's just say you can win a trip to Greece if you commented on this. Or what are your top 5 tips on a trip to Greece? What should I see? What should I eat? And then you can see there is like 2,000 comments on this post. You scrape all the comments, and it's prospects that are interested in Greece and they have been there before, or really know things about the company, and you're selling a trip to Greece or boat trip in Greece. Then you can just say, hey, I saw you on LinkedIn. You saw you were interested in Greece, and I wanted to reach out. I sell you X, Y, and Z, this and that. Not sell you, but you get the point. So you personalize it off of something that you know about the prospect that they're already interested in, and then you hook them on your service afterwards. So as I mentioned before, you never want to pitch directly. You want them to know that you can fix their problem. So it's not about bragging when it comes to cold emailing. It's about selling them on a solution that can fix their current problem, and that's the way to go about it. So, next one is address specific problems. Identify and mention a problem your prospect is facing. Discuss their KPIs and prioritize exclusively tailored to them. Avoid pitching yourself in the initial email, which I already said. You don't want to pitch yourself and how brag about how good you are and what you've achieved for 100 other clients or anything like that. You wanted to know that this niche is struggling with this problem and I can do X, Y, and Z to fix your problem. Then you will get some replies and some meetings in your calendar. And that's basically what you need to do. And that could be law firms struggling to get more or just divorce cases, anything like that. And you got the solution on how they can get more divorce cases. Then you sell them on that. It could be anything else, every other service. It just comes down to you knowing your market and your niche. Know that you can provide some value to them that will fix their solution. Then you'll be an A plus in the emails. And then you want to niche down. Focus on a specific niche like assisting cat clothes stores in LA rather than targeting all e-commerce web shops. So you want to niche down, find a niche that you know. So if you are new to B2B lead gen and you're sitting there and struggling to find out what niche you should reach out to, I would either go about reaching out to a niche that you're already interested in or have worked in before. So let's say if you're right now you have worked in an IT company and you are interested in software, then I will probably reach out to IT firms and SaaS businesses because you know the ins and outs of the business already. You probably know some terms that I don't because I haven't worked in an IT company before or interested in SaaS, for example. So you have an advantage there to already know what they're currently struggling with and how to fix it. And if you can do that by selling them on a service, whatever service that is, and you can utilize cold email to do that, then why not? So that's basically comes down to your advantage. How have you worked with before? What have you experienced in, or what are you interested in? Choose one of those. Choose your niche. Try to only focus on that niche. Nothing that you can't switch up over time, but just start there in the beginning. That will give you a huge advantage, at least. And then you want craft intriguing subject lines, and that's post question, incorporate the company name to create engaging subject lines. So that could be, we have all seen it. Quick question that works well. I think it's died out a little bit. It could be company name X, your name, or your own company name, or it could be first name X, your name, something like that. Just try to also, if you don't know what to say in the subject line, then just use what works. But if you can relate it to what you're saying in the copy, then do that. So if you can say, let's say it's law firms, we mentioned that more divorce cases question mark, something like that, or just divorce cases in the subject line question mark, something like that. Try to keep it similar and relevant to what you're saying in the copy. That works incredibly well as well. So try to keep it relevant. If you don't know what to say, then just go with what works. Don't try to come up with some fancy subject line that will just ruin the whole email. You rather just want to keep it to maximum of 4 words, I would say. And then yeah, try to keep it relevant. If you can't, then go with the ones that you know that works. So if it's either first name question mark or yeah, something like that, at least something that you know works. Keep that in mind. And then understand goals and speak their language. So demonstrate an understanding of their goals, communicating their language, avoid generic messaging, and tailor your approach based on your role you're addressing. So this just comes down to your market research and knowing how to speak their language. So if you're reaching out to SaaS companies, for example, and you know it's called SDRs in SaaS, that specific term that they know instead of salespeople, or they got a specific term in local businesses, skin clinics, whatever it is, beauty shops, and you can speak their language, that makes a huge difference. If you know something that others don't, that can really stand out in their inbox and see, okay, this guy knows a thing or two about SaaS or whatever niche you're reaching out to, that the hundreds other people that are in our inboxes don't, then you have a huge advantage. And then, of course, understand the goals of what the companies are trying to reach and how to fix their current problem is something that you want to address as well. And then include relevant customer case studies if you have that. If you're starting out, I understand you really don't have any guarantees, any case studies, but then you have to offer a guarantee. So that could be working for free the first month, achieving some results before getting paid. So that could be if you're running a B2B lead gen agency and you're pitching a high setup fee, then you can say, when I've generated you the first 10 meetings, then we start to get paid, or only work on performance. So that could be we only take pay per call or pay per close deal, just to get your first customer over the line and get your first case study. So you can leverage that in your cold email further down the line. But if you don't have any case studies, as I said, it's a must to have a guarantee. And for me personally, I don't like to do money back guarantees because it's just a headache and it really stresses me out. I know some people like that, and it's always, of course, a good way to go about it with the prospects. But I really just wanted to say that for me at least, it's not something that I would pitch, and it's not something that I recommend other people to do. Try to find another way to do a good guarantee. So let's say if it's cold email, you're pitching them, they only have to pay for the systems, and then you can do, as I said, pay per call or pay per close deal, or say that you get paid your setup fee after you generated the first 10 meetings, and then you get a paying per call instead. So that's just another way to go about it and pitch your service. And then use soft CTAs. Request to share something useful rather than demanding an immediate meeting. So never do want to do a quick chat. Up for a meeting later this week. Here's my Calendly link. Never do that. Offer free value, or send over a video explaining more about your service and how you can help them. That's a really good way to go about it. It could be a free lead list. It could be a framework of how to achieve better result with Facebook ads, or how to get more conversion with this website update, or whatever it is that you're offering. Just use a soft TTA and provide value to the customer. That's one of the biggest game changer. So never do hard call to action the first email at least. Keep it later down the line in the follow-ups. And then keep it short. Ensure your message can be read in 10 seconds or less. And remember that maybe 90% of people are reading your emails off from their phone. So they have to be able to read it on their phone. So don't send them a novel because then it would just get too boring and you don't want to read like 15 sentences you explaining how good you are, or coming up with a crazy story about something else. You don't want to do that. Keep it short, simple, straight to the point. Test maybe a short, medium, and a little bit longer copy, but never more than like 6 8 sentences. That's max. Of course, you need to keep it relevant, but 6 to 8 sentences is max. Try to do one liners as well. It works incredibly well if you can that with your offer, or ask them questions or anything like that. And while this approach demands more upfront effort compared to mass templates, but is the price to be paid to stand out in the sea among ignored emails in your prospect's inbox? And this is basically the tips I have for you. And can you think of any other tips that will enhance this strategy? Please let me know in the comments. And otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.